Good afternoon again, everybody. Well, we're back here in Captain's Galley, and I've got a beautiful fall afternoon dish to show you. It's a comfort food. It's just beautiful. I'm calling it Seafaring salmon, roasted salmon, and it's done with a twist. And one of the main ingredients to get it all really good is this Captain Morgan's black spiced rum. And well, you know, I promise you I've been cooking with that. Kind of. Anyway, so roasting salmon, I've got a great recipe to share with you, and it's not difficult, it's very simple. It takes an hour of marinating, and I really hope you're going to like it. I love it. I know my wife loves it, my partner, the Capitana. So here you go. Nice, beautiful piece of salmon. This recipe is for 4. So I'm just gonna go ahead here, and while I'm cutting this salmon, you'll notice I have a glove on today because I burnt myself. So you got to do that. You got to have a glove on. I don't like cooking with gloves, but when you do that, yeah, the losses, you got to do it, and it's the right thing. So you'll see me with my black Morgan spiced rum and my black. Anyway, so here we go. You just cut this salmon into 4 nice portions that we're going to roast. I'm going to put them in here. Just like that. And we're going to drop them beautifully side by side, nestled up beside each other in this little marinating dish that we're going to use. Make some room for you. There we go. And that is that. Now for the marinade. Okay, so now for the marinade. Really, really simple, folks. Watch this. 2 tablespoons of, and I'm using here an avocado oil in here. That's just a choice. It can be a vegetable oil, it can be a canola oil, and it can even be an olive oil. And then you take a nice, beautiful, watch this, gorgeous 1/4 cup of raw honey. Let all that drizzle down in there. Look at that. That's gonna go right in there with that avocado oil. Next, we're gonna have some cider vinegar, which is a 1/4 cup of cider vinegar, and a 1/4 cup and plus a little bit more on the spiced Captain Morgan rum. I like it just a little more than a 1/4 cup because you want to get that nice glaze on top of the salmon when we're roasting it, and it really sets up well. The sugars from the rum come out, and it's wonderful. And we're going to take 2 tablespoons of fresh grated lemon rind. Okay, and 1 heaping tablespoon of fresh thyme. Please try to use fresh thyme if you can. If you don't, I mean, sometimes you can't get it. I grow my own, but honestly, the fresh thyme has such a wonderful perfume, aroma, and it sets up so beautifully with this recipe. And then I went ahead and I always do this in advance sometimes. I've got my own fresh cracked black pepper and salt, and I take just about a teaspoon of that, and then you go. And all we're gonna do now is just whisk this together. Pretty simple. Everybody, I'm sure most of you out there watching this has made a marinade. And here we go. We're gonna just throw this all over that salmon. And it is going to get parked. Okay, and now this is going to get parked abruptly into the fridge for 4 hours, or you can leave it on the countertop for 1 hour. If you're in a hurry, your guests are coming, you can leave it out on the countertop marinating for 1 hour, no more. So I like to leave it in the fridge for 4 hours. For this purpose today, I am going to park this in the fridge because I've got another job that I'm doing, and I'm roasting some amazing harvest vegetables. I've got a squash, a beautiful field squash, parsnips, potatoes, carrots. Wonderful. And what I've done with this is I've drizzled a combination of Fireball, go figure, huh? but it has a cinnamon note to it, along with some fresh, beautiful maple syrup from Nova Scotia, half and half, just drizzle it over top with a little bit of olive oil, just a little bit of olive oil, and then fresh cracked pepper and salt on top. At the very end, all I do is sprinkle a little bit of brown sugar to get that brownish caramelized look. Oh my gosh, when you try these vegetables with this salmon, look out. So you'll see that. So I'll see you in about 4 hours. Hey again, everyone. While we're waiting for that salmon to marinate, I thought I'd show you the finished product that we're serving the salmon with today. And it's all of the harvest vegetables. We have the turnip, the parsnips, the carrots, the field squash, potatoes, and a little secret for y'all, I put in fresh figs and roast them in there. And the sweetness of that fig when you're having it with the salmon is outstanding. And as you can see, when you use a little bit of this cinnamon-based corn whiskey fireball, how beautiful caramelized the vegetables get, and they have such a sweetness to it. It is eating candy from the garden. Simply eating candy from the garden. So here we are back with the marinated salmon, getting ready to put it in the oven. Roasted vegetables are sitting there being just kept on a very low heat. And I'm just gonna take this marinated salmon now and put it on a rack. And I put under the rack, because we're going to be basting some of this marinade on later, I just put it all on tin foil so that it's a lot easier to clean up later and it doesn't mess your pan up. So tin foil on the bottom drip pan, and we just ladle these beautiful pieces of salmon out, and voila, there's 4 beautiful pieces of salmon. This is the recipe for it, and that marinade we will baste on shortly. So the oven goes on at 450 degrees, and we're going to cook this. They're pretty thick, so I'm going to do this for about 15 minutes. You have to watch it, and when you start seeing it get all sort of whitish and bubbly on top, that's usually a good sign that the salmon's done. Okay, here we are back, everybody, and I'm just going to do this basting. Quick look at the salmon. You can see that nice white little glycerine shine coming out of it. On the sides, you can especially see it on the sides. I don't know if we can get a shot for you, but there's you can see that nice white bubbling appearance coming out. And all we do is we're just going to baste this guy one time. Make sure we've got all that nice lemon and honey and
Can wait, let's shake it, don't waste it, just taste it. Can wait, let's shake it, don't waste it, just taste it. Can wait, let's shake it, don't waste it, just taste it. And simmery blue, simmery blue.
now the finishing touch. Here we go.
Simmery blue.
So here we are, folks. Just finished plating up the vegetables. You can see that caramelized, that gooiness, the sweetness, all just ready for us. And all we're going to do is just grab this beautiful salmon, lay it on top like that, and voila, look at that, how it breaks away. Absolutely a delicious dish. And of course, you know that we have to pair it with a wine. And we have one of our own today from Nova Scotia, Yost Wineries, Vineyards, beautiful, beautiful company. Have been so creative. I just love drinking their wines. We chose Tidal Bay, and it's a very crisp, very dry wine that just goes so beautifully with all this sweetness. And all that you do, and you are one wonderful company. Here's to your health, and well, buon appetito. Okay, well, here we go. My favorite part of doing these little shows is the obvious, and that is tasting it. Of course, when roasting the figs with the vegetables You will love doing it. It is something you can do every time. You get this caramelized flavor, the salmon mixed with that fig, and these harvest vegetables. I get a little bit of that caramelized turnip there. Oh my God. But you know, I have this little shot glass and it says the captain's always right. And well, I'm the captain, so I'm entitled to the odd drop.